Hey guys, I'm Tara. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're talking about grounding, which is one of my favorite topics because I absolutely love connecting with the earth and I love teaching others how to do this. I think it's important to talk about grounding because it can be really challenging in this modern world. For most of us, especially those of us who spend a lot of time working on the computer, most of our days keep us disconnected from the earth. When we're disconnected from the earth, it's very easy to get lost in our own headspace, which could lead to things like stress and anxiety. This is why it's so important to take the time to do things that help you to feel grounded. So for today, I'll first go over what the term grounding means, and then we'll get into some grounding tips that you could add into your life. Timestamps will be below, and let's get into this video. The simplest way I describe the term grounding is connecting with the earth in some way. It's about reconnecting with the fact that we are beings of this earth and our life is connected to the earth. The earth provides us with our most basic needs, so think about grounding and connecting with the earth as a way to recharge yourself with fresh, new, healthy energy. In this modern day, with all of our technology, we often become disconnected from this fact. Don't get me wrong, I have nothing against technology and it really is a blessing, but it's also important to take some time to step away from it in order to connect with the earth again. Grounding is such a powerful practice because it helps you to get out of your own head at times when you're feeling lost in your thoughts, and it helps bring your attention back to the present moment. So that was my interpretation of grounding from my own knowledge and my own practice, but I want to share with you a little bit about the science related to grounding. From a more scientific standpoint, grounding, or sometimes you might hear it called earthing, is defined as a practice where your body comes in contact with the Earth's surface electrons. This is why one of the most common grounding activities is walking outside barefoot. It's thought that the Earth's energy transfers into your body when your bare feet are on the Earth's surface. And there are actually research studies out there that show positive physiological benefits to earthing or grounding. So not only does the earth provide us with what we need for survival, it's also possible that it can provide us with healing benefits that we never thought were possible. And this is one of the reasons why I love Mother Earth so much. She's just amazing. I'm gonna talk quickly about the root chakra because it's closely related to grounding. So for those of you who are unfamiliar with the chakras, they're basically energy centers in our body, which I already have an entire video on, so I'll link that in the description down below. But for a really quick overview, the root chakra is our first energy center, so it's located at the base of our spine and it extends down our legs all the way to our feet. Its element is earth, so it makes sense to talk about it in relation to grounding. The root chakra is all about being really present in our physical world and in essence remaining grounded and connected with the earth. When we work with this energy center, we work with sending our energy down into the earth as well as receiving energy from the earth. So working with the root chakra is very closely related to working on grounding. And I'm just sharing this with you because two of the tips that I have for you on how to be more grounded will relate back to this, so I just wanted you to have a basic understanding. So next, we're going to talk about the different tips and activities that I have for you that can help you to keep yourself grounded. These activities are based on my own interpretation of grounding as a practice to connect with the earth. So find which tips resonate with you and add them into your routine anytime you feel like you need to recharge or you feel like you need something to help you to quiet your headspace. So we're going to start with the most common grounding activity first, and this is walking outside. As we talked about earlier, the scientific point of grounding is to absorb the earth's electrons. So walking outside barefoot will be the best for this, but I don't think it's the only way to help you feel grounded. If you can walk barefoot on the earth, it's definitely a great activity, but even walking on the earth's surface in shoes can be super grounding. Like guys, I'm not walking outside barefoot in the winter, but I still feel super grounded by walking on the grass in my boots. I do personally find it more effective to walk on the dirt, the sand, the grass than say on concrete, but do what works for you and what you have available. Tip number 2 is observing nature. I find observing nature to be a very grounding activity. Although walking connects your feet, which we could say are your roots, to the earth, even sitting and watching the beauty of nature can be just as powerful at helping you to feel grounded. If you have the option to actually sit on the earth, that's awesome, but even observing nature from inside your home can help you to ground. Like me here on a cold day watching the birds from my window with some coffee. Such a good grounding activity. Tip number 3 has to do with manifestation. So working towards manifesting your goals is actually quite grounding, and this is because manifestation is about bringing a goal you have, which starts as a thought, and bringing it into the physical world. To bring about this goal, you need to be grounded in the physical world. People who aren't grounded will have difficulty bringing about their goals for this reason. Keep in mind that even though manifestation work is a great way to ground, we do want a balance of energy. So we want that balance between the root chakra, our first energy center, and our crown chakra, which is the last energy center. When you have too much focus on manifestation, you can become too focused on material things. So just to illustrate this point, let's look again at the chakras really quick. So the chakras start at the root chakra, at the base of our spine, go up to the crown at the top of our head. When the energy flows up the chakras to the crown, this is what leads us toward enlightenment. When the energy of the chakras flows down, it's flowing towards manifestation. We want the energy to flow in both directions. Too much energy flowing downward could cause us to become too focused on material things, which could negatively impact our mental health. And then too much energy flowing upward could cause us to have difficulty creating stability in our lives. So it's really just all about balance. So tip number 4 is to garden or get some houseplants. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you probably know that I love my plants. So of course, this is one of my suggestions. But seriously, working to nurture life from the earth is a super grounding activity, especially when you start your plants from seeds, which I just started for the spring. It's so wonderful to watch them come to life, and it can help you feel really connected to the earth. If you aren't able to have a garden, having houseplants is a great way to ground as well. And it's also great for the winter when you can't be outside as much. It's really like bringing a little piece of the earth into your living space, which can really help you to recharge. Tip number 5 is yoga that focuses on the root chakra. Certain yoga poses are specifically focused on activating the root chakra and designed to work on grounding. In particular, many standing poses are really great to work on grounding as you're connecting through your feet, which are your roots, to the earth. One of my personal favorite grounding yoga poses is Malasana Yogi Squat. I think it's because you're super low to the earth, but you still have the soles of your feet on the ground. It feels so good for grounding. I do have a yoga flow for grounding on my YouTube channel here, so I'll link that below for you guys. Tip number 6 is to have a glass of herbal tea. I find herbal teas to be a very grounding beverage, and I wanted to give you guys an idea that could be really easy to add into your routine. But just keep in mind, while many herbal teas do have health benefits, there also could be side effects depending on how much you drink or if you have other health conditions, so always do your research. I find herbal teas more grounding when I use fresh herbs, but dried works well too. My personal favorite is fresh lemongrass, and here I am having it dried because it's still cold out, so I don't have any fresh, but this is what I dried from my harvest last year. If you're interested in trying lemongrass tea, I'll link a brand below that is pure lemongrass. Again, I'm not an herbalist or a dietitian, I just like this tea, so remember to do your own research. Tip number 7 is to care for the earth. When you love and care for the earth, it can help you stay in a grounded state more often. This doesn't mean that you need to go out and do beach cleanups or anything extreme. If you can do this, that's amazing, and our earth for sure does need it. But even super simple activities like recycling can show that you care for the earth. If you don't care about the earth, it'll be very, very difficult to keep yourself grounded, since grounding is literally about connecting with the earth. So I do think this tip is important for everyone. Also, the earth is our home, and we really all need to do our part to care for it. I have a blog post that talks about easy ways to reduce waste, which is a super simple way to show you care for the earth, so that'll be linked below as well. Tip number 8 is to meditate with the intent to connect with the earth. So the type of meditation that you do determines if it's grounding or not. If you meditate and focus on connecting with the earth or focus on feeling rooted to the earth, it can really help you to feel grounded. If you meditate and are focusing more on, say, the third eye or the crown of the head, this isn't as grounding, because here you're working on connecting with something greater than you, or you're working on expanding your intuition. Both ways of meditating are great. I'm just pointing out that they work on different things. Personally, when I meditate with my focus on the third eye or the crown region, I'll always do some type of grounding activity after I'm done with my meditation in order to bring my awareness back into this physical plane. So I hope you found these tips helpful and that you start adding in more grounding activities into your life because it really offers amazing benefits. Again, you don't have to do all of these things, just find what works for you. All additional resources that we talked about through this video are going to be listed below to help you to get started practicing grounding. But that's all for today. If you guys are not already subscribed to my channel, please hit that subscribe button right below me. And I hope you all enjoy this beautiful planet. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.